the work. It tells you what to do. We know that, choose a color, someone. We know that tangent ratio compares the opposite side to the adjacent side. If you write it out, you cannot do it wrong. To do any trig, you need an angle and two sides. Or an angle and one side. Once you have those, you can do the rest of it. What finds angles? If you have an angle on one side, you're looking for a side. If you have an angle on two sides, you're looking for an angle. What finds angles? Shift, tan. What finds sides? Tan. So, we come to here, this very first question. Is there an angle I care about? Yes, so that means I have a theta. That theta is x. Once I have decided on theta, that's where I go in the triangle to do my work. There I am. I'm happy because it's Monday morning. From that point of view, what is 35? Opposite. Why? Because it's across the shape. What is 50? Adjacent. Why? Because it's beside me and it's not what? The hypotenuse. Because hypotenuse already gets a special name. It doesn't get to have two. No. True, Jasleen. Just like your Jasleen. Plus all your middle names, because you probably have a few. Do you have a few? Just one? Lots of people today have more than one middle name. My kids have two each. So they can get in trouble better. The more middle names there are, the easier, the more satisfying it is to yell at your children. What sounds worse? Beth, stop that! Or, Bethany Brianna Isabel Myers, stop it! Which one is more satisfying for me? The second one. Now, I do that often. So, do I need an angle? I do need an angle, yes? So is it shift tan or tan? Shift tan of what? O over A, which is 35 over 50. Who does this work, you or your machine? Your machine. What is the difficult thing here? It depends on your machine. What do you have to know what to do? The buttons that your machine needs. And there's something else you have to remember. What has to be visible on your calculator screen right now? It's not rad. Deg. Deg or a D. Now, if you are Crystal or Ashneed and you didn't watch any videos over the last week, because why would you have? Liars!
No, I swear.
Okay, Ashneed, listen to your voice. Calm. Just stay cool. Stay cool, okay? This is all you need. I will hear in my head, yes, I did, I swear, I promise. All I need to see is, don't you raise your voice to me, young lady. See what I did there? Because she's losing her voice. Shut it. Okay. All right, you understand? Okay. So if you watch the videos, you have no problem here, yes? Excellent. And Crystal, same deal? Sweet. So what's the answer? What's the answer? 35 degrees. Is it? I don't know. Let's check. Now, you guys must bear with me for a moment because I've given away all my forward calculators. No. That's all right. 35 degrees. Wait, what? It's 35 degrees. So why'd you say wait what? Somebody said wait what? Why?
Because, what do you punch into your calculator?
Well, what do I punch into my calculator? 35 divided by 50 shift tan. but that might not be what you punch into your calculator. If only I had made you write down what you had to punch into your calculator for how to work it. If only I had video proof of me teaching you exactly how to do this, so I couldn't have somebody come to me and say, Mr. Myers never taught us that. Huh? Why?
Sophie, can I have a sleepover at your house today, please?
What?
No.
Why do you want to go home?
I'm tired.
That's hurtful. I don't want to go home.
Why?
That's because he's actually making money.
You're making $500,000 a year, or in your life.
See, I pressed that in and it said syntax error. I want to die. Not really.
Did you turn back a page and read what you wrote down?
I was like looking at it, but then it got confused and it was a cartoon, so it just missed everything.
In the next question, do I have a theta? Do I have an angle about which I care? Yes. What is it? 60. Once I've decided on my theta, I go to there. Oh no, I lost some of my hair. Just like in real life. Damn, son. What is that? Opposite, x. What is that? Adjacent, 7. What do I know? The tan of 60 equals opposite x over 7. Number on the bottom, multiply or divide? Multiply. 7 tan 60 equals x. And you do that on your calculator. What do you get? 12.12. 12.1 is more than enough. Over here. Oh, there were two Y's. Yeah, there was another one there. Thank you. Now that perfect. Ashley, you have an answer? Excellent. What would you do? Yes, you would do Pythagoras. But here is a tip for you. Everybody look at my calculator when I get it on the screen. 7 tan 60. Correct? Now, almost all of you will write 12.1 and push clear. Don't. I need that 12.1 again, don't I? If I round it to 12.1 and use that, am I going to get as good an answer as if I didn't? No. So leave it on there. I know that I need to square that. I need to add 7 squared wasn't it? 7 squared equals that, and then I need to square root it to get 14. Okay? Now, some of you will be able to do this. You know that this is going to be 12.1 something now, right? Some of you, by the time you're done trig, will say, okay, that means this is 7 tan 60, correct? Which means 7 squared plus 7 tan 60 squared square root is the hypotenuse. Some of you might go to there before you even touch your calculator and be able to punch that into your calculator all at once. Everybody with me? Now in this question, I actually wanted what x was, so you needed to do that anyway. But in another question, maybe I only want one of the measurements and you leave it all till the end. You picking up what I'm putting down? Do you gain or lose marks depending on how you do this? No. Do you gain or lose respect depending on how you do this? You can't lose respect, but can you gain respect if you can get to here? Yeah, because the less times you hit your buttons, the less chance you have of hitting a wrong button. Everybody good? The less times you round, the less chance you have of rounding poorly. Everybody good? Sweet. All right. Thank you. And last one, back to orange. Do I have a theta? What is it? 80. So now only my hair moved and one eye. That's creepy.
Is that a bunny on the calculator?
Yeah, it's a bunny on the calculator.
That's so cute.
Plastic surgery, I'm back. I got a face transplant. Did you see that woman that got the face transplant? She shot herself in the face with a shotgun because she wanted to commit suicide but missed somehow. And then she lived, so then they gave her a face transplant. I have no idea whose face it was, but she was super pretty before she shot herself in the face. And then she wasn't very pretty. I'm not joking. She shot herself in the face. She wasn't very pretty. But then they put a new face on her. But I was in Walmart reading the article, and I didn't get to the end where they showed her finished face. So I don't know how good a job they did. Huh?
Why don't you just look it up?
Because we're doing math. I don't know. Again, Thomas, I didn't get to the end of the article because the Bing went, Bing, proceed to register 11. And when it says Bing, you got to proceed to register 11. You can't just stand there. Bing, please proceed to register 11. And what do? You proceed to register 11. That's the social contract. The machine went Bing. You go. What is the 10? And then, of course, when I got there had to be a CSM to till 11 anyway, because she didn't have enough cash. Cash Security Manager, I think is what it stands for. I'm not totally sure. I don't work at Walmart. But I've been there enough to hear CSM to till 11 and have somebody run up and put money in the till. So I assume that CSM means cash security or customer security, perhaps. I don't know. Could be customer service management. Could be. Way to acronym, Brittany. Way to acronym. So what's this? O is 10. What's X? A is X. Tan 80 equals O over A. X on the bottom. What do we do? Divide. 10 divided by tan 80 equals X. Punch that into your calculator. 10 divided by, my calculator's backwards, 10 divided by 80 tan equals 1.76. So 1.7, 1.8. Ashneed.
Could you have use the other angle and use that as...
If you wanted to say this was 10 and then do opposite and adjacent, of course you could. And the last question, the actual difficult question, number 19. This is the angle I need. How do I find it? Now the answer is on the page, so nobody do that thing that for some reason teachers of the world have made this like a teacher meme and they've used it to give credit to the kid when really what it should be is the kid deserves. But we're not allowed to do that. So there's a question that teachers have shown for the last about 10 years. It's like 7, 14, X. And the question says, find X. And the kid goes, there it is. And that has been used as in teacher training and things as, well, look at the different kinds of intelligences that kids have. That's not an intelligent. That's being a smartass, right? And there's a time and a place for smartass, as you are all well aware, because 50% of the time I'm speaking, I'm being a smartass. And 50% of the time I'm speaking, I'm teaching you math. But the difference is know when to do each, right? This is a pain in the ass. And no matter what anyone says, it's wrong, right? Now, I will give you another example that has taken this to the next level. In England, on a grade 12 final exam, a kid wrote for his final exam, F-U, but he didn't write F. His 2-word final essay at the end of high school was F-U. He still got 1 out of 6. It was a sentence. Yes, it is. What's the verb? Don't say it. Does it have a verb? Does it have an object of the verb? Is there an action that receives that verb, or a thing that receives that verb? So technically, did that kid learn some English? So they had to give him 1 out of 6 because, of course, 0 isn't on any rubric, is it? Because heaven forbid your precious feelings get hurt. That is what I mean by soft. Let's do some math, shall we? Often students like this to be zoomed in on. So I am going to do so because I care that much about you. I know, stop it, right? It's appalling how much I care about you.
That's too much.
No, trust me, it won't be. How do I find... No, you had to do number 19. How do I find that angle? It's 180. The pink is 180 minus the blue angle, right? How do I find the blue angle? Well, if this is 7 by 5 and that's 11, then what is this? 7.5. And what is this? 11. And then that makes this theta, doesn't it? Tan theta equals 7.5 over 11. Do I want the tan of theta? Of course not. I want shift tan 7.5 over 11, which gets you whatever it gets you. I don't remember. And then, once you know that, this whole angle is 180, isn't it? But we don't want that part of it, so it's this. And whatever it is, the answer is written on the page. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of those things where some smart kid, and I'm using smart in the pejorative sense, some smart-butted kid says, when we teach you these types of trig, when am I ever going to need this in real life? How could it possibly help to know what an angle is? And then I showed them this question, like, well, I'm not going to be a carpenter. Okay then, kid, you win. Good for you. I personally believe the more knowledgeable arrows you have in your quiver, the better off you will be in the rest of your life. So if you do find yourself in a place where you need an angle, you don't go, I don't know how to do that. Well, the guy right beside you says, well, don't you just take the tan and do this and then subtract? And then the boss who asked that question says, you, come with me. You, get a broom. But that's just me. Please go to page 50, where it says angles in the real world. Because, of course, I care about you people taking your knowledge to the real world. And in the real world, very rarely are there triangles floating in the middle of space. So, that's not in the middle of space. That's attached to a wall. They are not floating in the middle of the air. Oh my goodness, I see a triangle. It's in my dreams. Speaking of dreams, if we have time, remind me. Something funny happened in my dreams last night. And nothing I hate more than people that talk about their dreams, but I'm going to do it anyway. Because it's actually funny what happened. Who could this be? It's Varsha. And Tasha. Look at that. There's nothing to analyze. Anybody that says they can really interpret dreams is lying to get money from you. It's your brain. Nobody can get inside your brain. You're welcome to try. All right. Angles in the real world are going to take 2 descriptions. The first description is this. Everybody draw an eye. You don't have to draw it well. Just draw an eye. Everybody cool?
No.
your eye looks straight ahead on a level line. Everybody cool? So right now, the black line is where that eye is looking, right? Suddenly, overhead flies a plane. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm 43. When I hear a plane, I still look up. Because I want to say, oh, a plane. And some of you will say you don't look up, but you're liars. Because you do. You always look up when you hear a plane over you. Right? And sometimes it's pulling one of those signs, but it's backwards to you, and you spend extra time looking at it, trying to read it backwards, and wishing it would fly the other way so you could actually read the sign. Well, maybe that's a little much, but where does my eye go when I hear up, right? So my eye looks up to the plane. And normally I draw better planes than that, but I'm just going to draw that way right now. Since my eye went up, this theta, I now have an angle, don't I? Between where my eye started and where my eye ended. Since it went up, that theta is called the angle of elevation, or the angle of inclination, because I have inclined my eye by moving upwards. Everybody with me? Everybody cool? Yeah? All right. After the plane flies over, somebody walking on the street right over here drops a $20 bill and doesn't notice. Where does your eye go? Down to the $20 bill. Now your eye has moved down. So the blue theta is what we call an angle of depression. Or, because we're scared of that word now, it has become angle of declination. Because your eyes have declined as opposed to inclined. Is everybody with me? Now, work with me here. On this plane, there's a passenger who is looking out the window as he or she lands at Abbotsford International Airport. While they are landing, they notice this creeper staring up at them. Their eye does what? Looks down to the creeper, yes? So their eye was going straight ahead, wasn't it? But now it looks down at the creeper, yes? So this angle here is what? A blue or a red theta? It's a blue theta because it's an angle of depression, isn't it? But it's exactly the same as this guy's angle of elevation. Does everybody understand? Because your eyes would meet on this line. Is everybody cool with angle of elevation and angle of depression? Everybody? Everybody? Because if you look on the next page, all those questions I told you not to do, what is the words that's in all of them? Angle of elevation, inclination, depression, and declination. No. Don't start it yet. I know you're all looking at the clock. Oh, go ahead. We'll do the other one tomorrow. Well, there's more than one angle in the real world. That's only up and down. Last I checked, there's other directions.